Burn. You see right here? Burn. It's Bernie Sanders.
Well, if you're going to be going on TV, you can't show up like that.
Why? You're supposed to color correct me.
Because you have a scar here from a cat. That's why they hire me.
Not her. Different actual cat.
The other cat.
Our
Good point. Okay, guys, so I'm going to do some quick men's grooming here. Now, when I get hired to do men's makeup, it is the simplest makeup. You don't need to do much. You really just need to color correct where needed under the eyes.
Face, you don't have to do much.
You don't have to do much with this beautiful face here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use our concealers mostly, and then our foundations if need be. And the foundations, I would use very lightly, only because they tend to have a sheen to it, and for men, a lot of times people like them, and I say people, I mean like lights, paparazzi, camera, they like them to be a little bit more matte, not necessarily dry, but matte. So I'm going to go more with our waterproof concealers and just lightly shade where I need to, lightly fill in where I need to. So earlier I did a video and I didn't have the right exact brush on me. I think it's upstairs, but the awesome thing about our brushes is that they're vegan and they're synthetic. So you can actually use cream or wax-based products or anything with these brushes and they will clean right out. So I'm going to go in, hello sir, I'm going to go in with number 4 concealer. Of course, I have no battery. With the number 4 concealer. And if I'm not exactly sure, he looks like he's closer to number 4. But if I'm not exactly sure, I'm going to first try, you see I'm just going to lightly brush this with a poofier but small brush. I'm going to lightly try this color somewhere on his cheek area because that's easier for me to fix. If I started right under his eye, that would be kind of hard to get rid of because now I'm messing with any, you know, dryness or crepiness or anything there, and you don't want to make it look like it's textured under the eye. So what I did was I found like a little spot right here where the cat got, can you turn a little bit? Where the cat got him, and then I tried number 4.
Again, not this one.
Not this cat, the actual cat. Well, I'm the actual cat too. So keep going forward. All right, and turn. So the cat got him here. So we're going to just take number 4 and just lightly go over the area.
You try to love these cats, and this is what they do.
But you see that I'm putting it on the scar, but I'm also going around because I don't want it to just be a line on the scar. It needs to kind of blend down and into the rest of his makeup. Okay, and then I will powder this a bit here too, so that helps to keep it. Does this hurt? I just realized.
No,
like
but you're making me fall asleep.
Oh, okay. That's like a fresh cat wound, and I'm like sitting here messing with it. So go ahead and take a turn a little bit. So you see how that took away that scar, but look at the other side. Turn all the way. But you see how it's still right here? So it started to disappear there. So I can do a little bit more of adjustment if I want to. I can go in with the number 1 concealer to really take away any little bit of redness there. I can mix it with the number 4. And now I'm going in with almost like a lip brush because it's so specific and detailed. So we get rid of that redness and then go back in with I'm scraping some number 4 out because this is more his skin tone. So we did the color corrector first, and then now I'm going to go back in with his actual skin tone. Okay, so you see how that just takes that down. And again, we can't just do it right on here. We have to go around because otherwise it just looks weird if it just drops off into nothing. All right, looking good. So that's just an example of what you would do here. Now the skin here might be a little bit lighter. So this might be more of a number. Can you turn a little more, hon? Because you have there's still a scar right here. Now this, I honestly don't even know how it would. Maybe I can go in between the hair and do a little bit of the concealer. It would just bring it down a little bit and not as noticeable. That does help a little. Let's go with number 3 back here. Now he might still be number 4 here, but you tend to be a little bit lighter in this area, especially if the beard usually covers this area. So I'm going with number 3 and get the other end of this. And then I'm going to go under the hairs.
I'm going to fall asleep.
I'm sorry.
No, it's like...
That's why they pay me big money, because I make people fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you see that? So we got rid of that scarring there. All right, now let's take a look here. So Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that was a little corrective for, you know, scars and things like that. You're not necessarily going to always get that on the face of all things, but it looks pretty natural there, right? Okay, so we're going to go now to I want to show you a little bit of a difference between concealers. Now, if somebody were to look at him, they may go, oh, well, you know, you could do a number 2 concealer or a 0 concealer or something like that. Not everybody, but a lot of people want to assume that just having a lighter color is going to help disguise under eye circles or any darkness under there. So I'm going to show you the difference between number 2 and number 3. So go ahead and look up for me. Number 2 here is more of a yellow base, and yes, it's going to brighten up this area. Here's the problem. It's not necessary. It's just we're using the pigment to cover stuff. We're not using the color to cover it, meaning that you're not counteracting the color. You're really just kind of bringing out a brightness in that area. So yeah, you're covering it because the pigment is super bright, but it doesn't look natural at all, right? You don't feel like it looks natural, do you?
No.
You'd rock it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not going to let you rock that because that's too makeup-y. So we're going to go with number 3. The tiniest bit. You guys see like how little that is? And then on top of that, I'm just scraping some of it off. Okay, so I call this like a dry brushing technique, not really getting too much on here. So the number 3, I'm going to go in to the inner corner. Does that feel funny?
Tickles.
And I'm going to really make sure that it's here in this corner because don't sneeze.
I'm not going to sneeze, it just tickled.
Okay, I'm going to go in this corner because this tends to be the darkest part of our face right here. Okay, so I'm going to go in that corner, but I don't want to make this ring like I was doing over here, right? So we're going to go with number 4, which is actually the darker color that I was using on his skin. Again, this. Go in with the same brush. And I'm going to use that more towards the outside corner. Now, just because I'm doing this with a guy doesn't mean I don't do this with the women too. Sure, I don't mind if there's a little bit of brightness or lightness right here, but I don't want that necessarily to carry out all throughout the face. So I will go more with the skin tone on the outer. Close your eyes. I'm going to go on the skin tone on the outer edge. And then whatever I have left on the brush, I'll just marry the two together. So that way both colors are just pretty seamless. So go ahead and open. So now your under eyes look more natural there, but they're covered, you know, the darkness is covered versus over here where it looks too makeup-y. It's just way too bright, right? Do you see the difference there? Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Which one would you rock? Honestly, you're gonna go outside and people are gonna see you. Which one do you think, Dad? You would like the bright one?
No.
David Bowie kind of feel.
So it looks like David Bowie.
Okay, so we're going to put number 4 here just to bring this down, and I'll show you the difference. It just looks so much more natural when you use a color that's closer. And close your eyes. Now, this is a thicker pigment, so you want to really use your hands when possible to warm it up. You can either do this prior before application, or you can go on the face afterwards and just pat it in. Take a look. All right, it's nice and refreshed. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is just make sure that if there's he's tired. So we have to pretend like he's not tired, and then we're going to make him look like he's wide awake.
Brushes are comfy.
So we're going to just get this little guy here, get around the nose. He had some sun yesterday, so we have to get rid of some of that redness. And again, tiny circles, just a little dry brushing to make them completely ticklish. See, I shouldn't have said that. You probably were fine until I said that. Okay. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and go through and do some powder everywhere because you'll find that the powder actually ends up kind of masking the oiliness and it's a little bit more even all around. It's like a veil. So let's get that powder on. Now, don't know if you guys can tell from the camera, but in person, this doesn't look like any texture. This should not look like makeup. Like he should go somewhere and it should just look like he has great skin. It should not look like he put makeup all over his skin. Make sure if you put powder over the eyes that you take it off the lashes too. And then we're going to just tap the powder there. All right. Now it's hard to tell on this light because it's really bright in this light. But And then if you can do the bronzer, honestly, I wouldn't do too much with the bronzer because it has a sheen to it. So, see, it's pretty good.
Hmm?
What's your scar?
What scar?
Oh, I
What
see what
scar?
you did there. So it's just a quick video on men's grooming. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Say bye.
Bye.
You ready for your close-up? I need to get some pictures. I forgot to do it before and after.
Right. There you go. See that?
Awesome. Bye.